air dry clay going big with this massive chunk of clay. In my last two videos I made air dry clay miniatures and many small clay pieces, so here are my air dry clay tips for going big. How many of these 1 kilogram blocks can be used to make a large DIY dish? This clay is fantastic, it dries naturally in the air, and this is a great way to make ceramics and pottery at home with no kiln needed. There are many challenges when going bigger with air dry clay, so here are my tips and tricks. But going this big is a challenge for me too, as I haven't actually made an air dry clay dish this big yet. I don't have a cookie cutter big enough, so I'm making myself a template. A drawing pin in the middle, a pencil and a piece of string. Don't worry if it's a little bit messy like mine is. The trick is here to fold through the center line several times, and then we use the arc that's created, and then we create a really even circle in that way. Unfold to reveal our template, and then hopefully this is the size we're going to make from our air dry clay. I think it seems even bigger in person than it does here on screen. I like a challenge, so here goes. First challenge, the rolling pin. I have a curtain pole in the garage, so I've just been out and I've chopped it up. You could use a drain pipe or anything else long and cylindrical. I have a large sheet of fabric. This is going to help me lift the clay later. Before you watch any further, let me know below what you think the chances are of me being able to make a piece of air dry clay this big. Am I really going to be able to handle it? I'm always ready for the challenge, so let's go. Any other challenges you think I should do, then please also comment below. 2 kilograms of clay, 3 kilograms of clay. Let's hope that will do it. You can buy clay in bigger packs, but I at the moment only have these 1 kilogram blocks, so it's the next challenge to actually blend all of these together so we have one giant block of air dry clay. Adding some pressure and some smoothing, it all comes together. I'm happy with the clay, and what's important next is to make sure you have a really good surface. So the surface needs to be really big, and then lay out the fabric. This, as I said earlier, is going to let us maneuver the clay when we need to. The air dry clay certainly feels incredibly solid at this stage, it really does, so I need to get that rolling pin on it where I roll and turn and smooth out any creases and cracks as they come. I can see a bubble has formed in the clay, so I take a toothpick, pop the bubble, smooth the air out and carry on. Because I had so much clay to work together, bubbles like this are more likely as the air gets trapped between those layers. But the clay is smoothing out really nicely, and I have every confidence that I'm going to be able to create this giant air dry clay dish. My hands while turning act as giant paddles underneath, so you want to make sure you don't stick your fingers through the clay, but you more use your hands as that giant paddle. Where the layer edges have not quite come together, we have a little bit of a crack and a groove, and so these are all really easily smoothed out. I took my knife and I scraped over everything, then used my thumb and smoothed it through. You can do this with any air dry clay project. It's getting bigger, and all I need to do now is to just keep going. A great tip to help you roll out a really uniform thickness of air dry clay is to put 2 pieces of wood either side, or something the same thickness either side of your clay, just like I did there. Very nearly there, just a little more rolling to go. 3 kilograms of clay seem to have done the trick. My template fits, and I'm excited to cut this out. I'm using a fairly blunt table knife as I don't want to cut the fabric or my table underneath. Make sure that you don't do something like this on a surface that you are precious of. I'm keeping the knife at the same angle, and I'm moving my arm and my body around and using that left arm as something to hold down the template. I tell you, it's so satisfying cutting this, it really is. And now I've got to this stage, I'm really excited to see how this dish turns out. I do have plenty of clay left over here, so make sure you do knead it all back together Make it into a nice smooth ball again, and then make sure you seal it and put it away so that the air can't get at it until you next need it. The remaining clay is 632 grams, so my air dry clay piece is officially 2,368 grams. The clay is lovely and smooth with a fairly neat edge, but you can go around it and smooth it with your fingers if you wish, and I've brought some air dry clay slip here. Sometimes if you have a little bit of crack that happens, you can put a little bit of that on your fingers and smooth everything out in that way. The air dry clay starts to dry naturally in the air, so having a pot of air dry clay slip nearby is really handy. This really doesn't need that much smoothing, but it feels so lovely and silky and nice. At this stage, clean your hands of any dried on air dry clay. And as if by magic, I'm able to move around my air dry clay as easy as that because I've used that fabric underneath. I really wouldn't want to have to scoop this up too much with my bare hands, whereas the fabric gives us that extra support. There are many ways in which we could now turn this into a lovely bowl or dish, but I've gone for what I'd like to show you as one of the easiest options, and I have all these ping pong balls. See, it really is as simple and easy as this. Tuck the little ping pong balls underneath the very edge of the air dry clay. You can use as many as you wish to create whatever wavy or scalloped edge you desire. Now that we're forming the dish shape, it allows some of that air to get underneath the clay, and that helps with the drying process. Don't worry if the clay starts to wrinkle or crack in areas. It might do, but you're able to smooth these out again. I can smooth them out with my thumb just like that, but if you do need to, you can add a little bit of air dry clay slip once again. Smooth everything out until you're happy with the finished result. I love how this is turning out, and I can't wait to see it dry. I've spotted a few extra wrinkles, so I'm just going to smooth those out quickly with some air dry clay slip once again. I'll leave this to start drying here just for a few hours, and then I'm going to move it with the board underneath and the fabric. This has been drying now for about 24 hours, and you can see the outside is really starting to dry. And it's starting to hold its own shape, but the inside of the clay is still very much damp, as the fabric underneath will actually hold some of that moisture. After leaving it for another 2 days, I'm able to turn it upside down, and I'm using a cushion to help me support it, because it's still slightly damp on the base. In total, I left this for a full week to dry, just to make sure. Taking some light sandpaper, I can then smooth it even smoother and smooth out any crinkles or cracks. Although if you dry the air dry clay really slowly, you really shouldn't have any cracks on this kind of design. Wear a mask while sanding, and if possible, sand outside. A piece this big really deserves a fun pattern, so I did a few doodles in my sketch pad, and I'm drawing out with pencil and marking out my new design. Paint in any way you wish. You could paint in one full colour if that's all you're capable of and all you want to do, or really have fun and really go for a bold design like I am here. The clay is holding up really well, and it doesn't feel at all fragile, so that's good to know. Of course, if I was to put my foot on it and stamp on the edge, then yes, it would break. Drawing in pencil is great, as you can rub out any errors with the sandpaper. I use acrylic paint to paint a lot of my air dry clay pieces, and so this is what I'm going to do now. I do recommend that you give a full base coat first of one singular colour, rather than what I'm doing here is just going in with my pattern and decorating with the colours, as my initial idea was that I wanted to have the difference between the white of the clay and the white of the acrylic paint. They come out two quite different colours once the piece is actually varnished, and I actually wanted that for this piece, but I actually do recommend paint that full piece in one full base colour first. That's the best option. I've mixed the nice green from the primary colours. I always paint that way. I tend to use just the primary colours and make whatever colour that I wish from those. My initial plan was to paint everything with this green, but I did the 2 lines and then I decided to add that different colour in just for a bit more variety and a bit more of a bold feature. So I have a fine paintbrush and I'm just taking my time, enjoying this therapeutic part of the process. I love how bold this is, and it's really coming together really nicely and not taking as long as I thought it would to paint either. I give each green section 2 coats of paint just to make sure the paint is lovely and bold. What would you paint on a large dish like this? Please do let me know in the comments below. If you are enjoying my videos, please do make sure you subscribe. I don't think the image on here really gives it justice and shows really how big this dish is. It really is massive. I'm adding some white paint and some extra details. Some little dots inside are lovely organic shapes there. So here's proof, air dry clay really can go this big. It feels lovely sturdy and robust, and I'm really happy with it. To add some extra robustness, I'm adding some UV resin, making sure I use my mask and removing any dust particles, and I'm going to add my UV resin. I often add UV resin to lots of my little pieces, and so it's going to be a bit of a challenge to add it here to this large piece. It really doesn't go to plan either, so watch to the end and see what mistakes I made. Goodness me, I didn't ruin it, I am going to fix it, but I have another video on the way where I make an even bigger piece of air dry clay and a bigger dish, more of a sculpture, so make sure you come and watch that one. I really should have painted the whole of this first, and I knew that the UV resin was going to change the colour of the bare air dry clay because it always does, but unfortunately it seems to be creating little patches, different variation of patches. That could be something as simple as the oil on my fingers that's a bit different and got onto the clay, and as it started to dry a little, it's really getting even worse, because the other mistake I made was I put the torch over all of it and then I didn't UV lamp it straight away. I had to go out, and so it's all gone really strange, and so I made 2 mistakes there. I should have painted it in acrylic paint in full, and I didn't put the lamp on it soon enough, and so it's all gone strange. I am going to fix it, so watch this space, and I'm going to really try my best to fix this. I still love it, but I have another piece on the way too, so please watch that one.